that's what one of the reasons we've been also coming back to Uganda and also getting this relationship going. And I really enjoy being there, and enjoy like bringing over what could help this country also to become much better in sense of where it is also at the moment and where it could be.
Wow, I am amazed with the positivity you have about Uganda, and that's really amazing. I'm happy when I hear that Uganda has the future, and indeed it has the future. By the way, it's not. It couldn't even just. It cannot be number one in Africa alone. It could be number something. We can overtake Estonia. I believe that if we can have Ugandans who have woken up to read what we have. It's so absurd that you guys, you come to Uganda, you see the beauty, and for us who are here, we seem not to see the beauty. And you have really talked about something that even also you have in your book, the 12 things not taught in school. Now, maybe I should start from there, because you are talking about leadership, that it was leadership that really triggered the national development. Now, maybe we could look at, of course, we know that in schools, they really don't focus so much on people becoming leaders. We focus so much on people taking in orders, especially now we are talking in African context. We take in so much of orders than having people contribute, especially in schools, that even after school, we have bosses who just suppress people's authority and power. Now, what's the role of leadership in individual development? Now, we have been talking about national development. Now, individual, do you think individuals must become better leaders to succeed in whatever they're doing?
Of course, it all starts from leading yourself, because in so many cases people kind of put the role or the responsibility to someone else. Like what's happening in their life is like, the government is has made something wrong, and I'm not advancing in my life, or there's the school as brought down my genius, my gifts and all that, or there's like my parents have done something to me that I can't advance in my life. So it's kind of it's easy to blame others, and it's easy not to take the responsibility. But this is really one of the main keys to getting more successful in your life, is to take the full responsibility, take the 100% responsibility of your life. The situation where you are in your life right now is because of your decisions, because of your the way you have lived your life so far. So it really becomes to the leadership of taking the control of your life, that you have the 100% responsibility, and you are the leader who can lead your life to the way, or to the site, or to the places that you would love it to go. And it's really up to you, not anyone else in that sense. Of course, there are factors that influence it, but you can still, no matter what are the influences or what are the circumstances, you can still make things happen. You can still achieve great results. You can find out what's your true gifts, and you can put them out to the world and have amazing things happen in your life. So it's really about taking the responsibility, 100% of the responsibility, and leading your life to the direction that you are capable of doing it, and in your fullest potential, and then leading it to that direction.
Wow, that's very. But now we've had very many coaches and mentors talking about, you guys, you have to take 100% responsibility of your life. And what really causes people to take 100% responsibility? People seem not to get it. Yes, we train it, but how do we cause people to start taking 100% responsibility of their life? What could be that? Maybe let me, from your personal experience, at what point of life did you learn to start taking 100% responsibility of your own life? And what really triggered you to continue taking 100% responsibility of your own life?
I guess the big shift for me started when when I started with all the self-development journey, or when I started my personal growth in that sense. And it started for me from the Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki's book. This was kind of the first eye-opener for me, that there's different type of world out there. Like the normal regular way that we've been told, that you get to have the 9 to 5 job, and then do things that you most likely don't enjoy, and having this miserable life in a sense. You go to school, then you have your job, then have your family, and then you retire at some point, and this is pretty much the life you have. And it's like kind of, it didn't really resonate with me. I thought all the time that something's wrong with that, but I didn't have also better answers. And when I got into reading this kind of books, going to these kind of seminars, I started to realize that there are people out there who are living lives on their rules, on their terms, and making amazing things happen. And it's not by accident. It's because they have made some conscious decisions. They made some conscious steps in their lives. And it's amazing that some of them are sharing also how they were doing that. So this was really the part when I started, well, these guys have come from places where they've been in a situation where their life was in a much worse situation than my life was, and they were able to go much further. And I'm like, these guys seem to be like regular guys in that sense. And if they are able to do that, maybe I'm able to do that as well. And I think that's kind of one of the key turning points for me as well. When I started to learn about things, starting to go in and learn from the people who have achieved great results, and really to start understand what have they done. And then not only just seeing and understanding, but also starting to put that into practice. Because that's, I think, one of the things where many people lack the part is that they hear a thing, or they learn something, but then they don't put it into practice. And I think that's where the full responsibility begins, that you put it in practice, and you will get the learning lessons through this process. You will fail many times, especially when you start out, as I started with doing some business things. My first things were in music industry, because I love music, and we started to organize some events, and we did some smaller events, and then at one point we thought, well, let's make a big festival. We did a huge event we wanted to do, and we lost about $30,000. It was 10 years ago, and it was painful, but and on the other hand, it was one of the best things that could happen to me, because I had to find a way out of that, and I did find a way. And when I was able to find a way out of that, then it was also easier for me to keep on bringing in the revenues, keep on bringing in the income after that, when I was on the break even again. So in a sense, it's I think the responsibility really starts of having the knowledge and putting it into action. Because if you hear some great things and you're not using that, you're not taking the responsibility. You're well, yeah, I see how this could work for Jonathan, or I see how this could work for Roland, but yeah, it's probably not for me. But try it out, you put it in action. If it resonates with you, if you think that this could be something for you, or your path could be in some way, or there's an area in your life, or there's a field that really interests you, or you're curious about, and just dive into that, and just start to see what's going to happen there. Put all your knowledge into practice, and seek out for the mentors, seek out for the people who have been in the same journey and done it successfully, and learn from them, and then put it in action again and see what happens. Because there's, in many cases, the problem is that people are putting things into, even if they put the things into action, they don't know if those things work or not. They're just using something that well, maybe this works, but then the result could be like my festival thing, that where, you know, one of the problem there was that we thought, well, we already done some things, now let's make something big and let's make a lot of money. But the problem was that, you know, we didn't have anyone in our team who has successfully before done any festivals like that. So we thought, well, we can make it happen on our own, but it's not going to happen like that. And when I shared some of the pictures in the beginning of the big events we've done in Estonia, the largest ever seminar done in Estonia, when we started doing the events like that, we learned from those who've already done successful events. We had people in our team who have done these kind of events before from abroad and all that. So I was so much more smarter the second time around, in a sense, doing something big. And I guess this is really the key, you know, take the responsibility in terms of putting things into action, but then also getting the right, getting the advice from the people who have done the things before in their lives, and then following it, not, you know, trying to, oh, you know, I can make it up on my own, and then see that, you know, the results are not the way that they wanted to have, and then, you know, well, you know, this responsibility thing doesn't work out for me.
Okay. Wow. Thank you very much. That was really insightful, because trust me, I think most people, they seem to know what they want to do, but that first step of taking personal responsibility and willing to pay the price, because in your discussion, you're talking about losing $30,000. And I think that's one of the price you had to pay to learn, now to start organizing all those big events in Estonia, or attracting thousands of people. And yet in the beginning, there was a certain loss that could have even told you, don't do it again, because 30,000 loss, it is something huge. It takes really courage to persist. But I believe, I think one of the reasons that you are doing what you are doing, it's because the number one thing in your book, ladies and gentlemen, we are discussing 12 things not taught in school. And I asked one of the questions, it was related with leadership, because one of the 12 things that is really not given focus in school is leadership, as in his book, 12 things not taught in school. And so we talked about leadership, the role of leadership on individual success, because we can talk about leadership on national level, but I think before we talk about leadership on national level, we need to talk about leadership on individual level, because it's these individuals that we really collectively put together that will produce national result. So if we want a better Uganda, then we want better individuals, because individuals, if they're better, then we are going to have a healthy community, a healthy nation. So we talked about that. And please don't forget that we are live on YouTube. We try to be live on Facebook, but we cannot, because, you know, Facebook was blocked in Uganda. So we tried all we can. Our technical team failed for now. So we are only live on YouTube. And I know Josh has put the YouTube details for those who want to share this with people maybe who have not managed to join on Zoom. You can share the YouTube link and they join through YouTube. Those who have failed to, is the book available online? Of course, someone is already asking question, is book available online? Roland will answer that question. I know, not answer for him, is the right person to answer. So ladies and gentlemen, Roland, from your talk, I'm going to get the next question, because I believe you continue doing what you are doing because you had a certain call. You have already discovered the call. And one of the things that is in your book is about passion and calling. You know, why we do what we do, it's because we have passion for them. And our calling is the source of passion. You know, at what certain age, or at certain level of life, or when did you discover your calling, and how do we discover our calling? How do we come to discover our calling, and how do we serve our calling into the marketplace? But also you can talk about why are schools not teaching the calling? So please start anywhere. There are many questions in that, but I believe you can find where to start. Thank you.
Yeah, well, in a sense, I have no idea why the school is not teaching those things, because it's eventually, if you take the definition of education, it's actually coming from a Latin word called edus, which means to bring out potential. So in a sense, education's definition, real definition, should be, you know, bringing out the potential. But in a, but at least for me in school, I felt like they did the total opposite. You know, I know my, you know, a couple of my strengths are like, you know, cooperation and also connecting with people. But in school, cooperation, if you're really good at cooperating with someone else in the class, it's called cheating. And if you're really good at connecting with people, you know, it's called interrupting. So I learned really fast in school that, you know, these are not the things to use, and these are not good things. So when I was finishing the high school, you know, I was like, you know, well, you know, I also kind of liked numbers, and, you know, then I went to learn, to the high school, I mean, to the university, and learn law and economics, which is 180 degrees from who I am. And, you know, and then again, like when all this self-development journey started for me, it's I think it's about 13 years ago from now, I really started to also kind of refine myself, like, you know, understand who am I. And I think it took like 6 to 8 years to really tap into like what are my true gifts, and what's my calling, and to give some, you know, perspective. What are those mean, like, because there's passion, there's this you have true gifts, and you have calling, and there's your life's purpose and all that. And I really like parallel from the nature. And Jonathan, I've shared that with you, but there's you know, if you look at bees in the nature, they, you know, they're flying around, and, you know, they're going to from a flower to flower. They're just collecting the nectar there, and, you know, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. You know, I'm pretty sure they're passionate about what they're doing. I don't think there's any bee flying around and they, oh man, I have to go to work again, like, you know, collecting this nectar. Who came up with this kind of job? This is ridiculous. This is like, you know, I don't like the environment. I mean, I don't think any bee is like, you know, complaining about that. They're just doing what they're supposed to be doing. And, you know, they're passionate about it. They're using their true gifts. They're all gifted with, you know, what they are able to do. And while they're doing that, they're pursuing their calling. They're pursuing something that why they're called here in this life to be doing. And with that, like, you know, again, I don't think any bee is flying around that they know about that they are doing something like that. In a sense, that their bigger purpose behind that is to they're giving us fresh air to breathe, oxygen. They're helping through the cross pollination. They help the plants to grow. We have you know, fruits and vegetables to eat. But I don't think any bees flying around and thinking like, you know, well, you know, look, all the humankind and all the animals here, you know, you are what a gift I'm giving to you. I'm, you know, helping you to eat all those things and helping you have this fresh air to breathe. You know, I don't think they know that. So in a sense, their role really is to do what they're really passionate about, use their gifts, and pursue their true calling. And with that, they're also, you know, in a sense, they're putting out their true life's purpose, which is, you know, giving the fresh air and doing the cross pollination and giving us the plants to eat. So, but they're not aware of that. And I think that's the same with human beings. It's like, you know, have to find out the things that you're really passionate about. You know, just go on the search, because there's most likely there's a ton of different things that you're passionate about. But then there's also, you know, what are the things that, you know, come effortlessly from you? What are your true gifts? And, you know, for me, you know, a couple of things, you know, I know is like, you know, the communication is just, I just enjoy that. It just comes out naturally from me. Not all the time in English, because that's not my first language. My second language, we don't speak in Estonia English, but, you know, but I still enjoy doing that in English, although it's not that fluent as it's my first language. but anyways, I also, you know, really enjoy and love singing and playing music and all that. and also combining different ideas together. Like I like the creativity and strategizing about things. So these are some of the things that really come really naturally from me. And my role really is to put out that as much as possible, to use those gifts and pursue my calling. And I know with that, I'm also here, you know, making happen some bigger purpose that I'm not possibly, probably, I'm not even aware of that, what exactly that is. And that's really the key, dude. How I figured it all out is like, I started to try different things. I started to, organize events and did different parts of it. And then, in one point I realized I don't like organizing. I don't like the organizational side of the event. I like, the part of like, being in front of people, or getting the people in the room, or these are the things that I'm really passionate about, and that come more naturally from me. So I've chosen to go more towards those things and do more and more those things that I'm really passionate about, that come naturally from me. And I know this is, pursuing my calling. So I hope this gives some
Yeah,
overview and answer to what you were asking, Jonathan. And if there's any follow-up questions, let me know.
I love the big concept, and maybe let's tell our audience that all of us, let's write the word "be like a bee." Just write it somewhere in the comment, "Be like a bee," because do you know what? I've not seen, as you said, I don't think one time I went on the beehive, near the beehive. All you see, they come in, they go out. They come in, they go out. I don't think it reaches along the one that's saying, "Oh, when will somebody stop doing this?" I don't know how many times the bee go out to look for nectar. I need to ask the scientist. Maybe Ken. I know Ken, you're in this place. You're a good researcher. Please research for me. How many times does a normal bee work every day? In other words, how many times does the bee come out of the hive to go and look for nectar? Is it 20 times? You know, and what happens to a bee when it fails to get nectar? Does it come back to the hive, or it stays there forever? So we just need to study from the bees. So let's all of us, if you are hearing me, please write the word "be like a bee." Be like a bee. Be like a bee. Please, let me see some comments here. For those who are hearing me, please, let's get engaged. Just write a comment, say "be like a bee." It's very important, and maybe it's a homework for us to go out there and start studying about the bees. Thank you guys for those good. Thank you, Tege. Thank you, George. Thank you. I want to see you guys, those who are really following, to write the word "be like a bee." Let's go into the beehive, guys, and collect some nectars from the bees. Be like a bee, be like a bee. Wow, be like a bee. Kenneth Yam shows "be like a bee." Very important. And there's something we have to learn from the bee. Whenever you misuse your weapon, which is when the bee stings, it does not go back to the beehive because it has lost its weapon. So you don't need to use your energy unnecessary. Famuka, be like a bee. Wow. Wow. Thank you guys. KR, be like a bee. That's good. It shows me that you guys are following, and we are so honored to have you and putting in your time. I know more are still going to write "be like a bee." Don't misuse your sting. You will not go back to the beehive, because the principle is, don't just fight unnecessary battles. Bees fight when it is serious. When it's not serious, it's not just going to sting you because it has one sting. You have one time to show forth your calling, guys. So thank you, Roland. And it's very important. Another thing that I'm learning and I'm getting from your points, that you discover your calling in service. As you serve, then you discover your calling. And I think today morning I was on the NTV. It's a very powerful TV here, among the best TVs. And one of the things we discussed, and the question was, how does someone discover? And at what point did I discover my calling? I gave them the journey of my life. It has been volunteering. It has been working even for no pay. But as you do that, along the way, you are discovering your inborn abilities. You are discovering your gifts. What is a gift? A gift is an inherent capacity that helps you to meet a need in a creation. It is inherent. It is inbuilt. We don't go to school to get gifts. We go to school to expose. So all true school should be able to help us to know our gifts, because they're already there. There's no school where you go and they put a gift in you. The role of a school is to help you with the skills to manifest your gift, not to kill the gift, but to manifest what you already carry. So I believe that what you say, that as we serve, as we focus on a greater purpose and serving others and failing and succeeding along the way, you come to know really what you're born to do. That was really amazing. Thank you, Roland, for that. And guess what, guys? Are you excited? If you're excited, please, I want you to see some smiles. I want to see some excitement in the comments. I am excited. If you're excited, guys, I am excited. Please, I want to see some excitement in the room, guys. Let's give some excitement to Roland. He's doing a great work, isn't he? I don't know if that's the right question tag. Yes. Well, thank you, Famka, for that. Let me see some other person who said Roland is doing a great work and I'm excited. Let me see some excitement, guys, in the room. And by the way, if you are so quick to comment, you are going to win yourself a book. And if you we ask some questions and you are really, really good at them, then, oh, I'm excited. Manuel is excited. Wow, it's good. I'm seeing some excitement. Who else is excited? Tege is saying like this: I was the first. Famka was the first. So Famka, you want to win yourself a book? Wow, okay. You never know. I think you're on your way to win a book. So I'm just going to ask some simple question concerning what Roland has been presenting. Then that person will really win themselves a book. Okay, Rogers, thank you very much. Yes. Now, let's just continue, because we really need to do certain things now. We still have a lot to discuss. Roland, one of the things I think we need to do, and it's in your book, to really maximize ourselves on earth, is to set appropriate goals. So as an individual, as a coach, how do we set goals that lead to results? How do we set goals that lead to results? Because trust me, at the beginning of every year, very many people set up goals. Very many people come up with strategies. This is what I'm going to do. But by the time we reach April, even like now, many people have already given up on their goals. So what could be the source of true goals? And what advice do you have for people on this really webinar on how can they come up with their true goals?
Yeah, that's a big thing. It's I'm sure a lot of people have at least heard that this is really important to set goals, because otherwise it's like, if you don't set a goal, it's like, you would go driving and you don't have no idea where you're gonna go. You just drive around. you just drive around, and this in Kampala especially, this wouldn't be a smart idea. Like you wouldn't get anywhere, and you will be getting this there slowly as well. So so I guess it's like, I guess it makes sense to to have goals, but the problem in many cases is people are setting a really big goals. Like they want to have something really huge happen in their life, and then when you set a really big goal, and maybe you also put a certain deadline when you want to have or achieve this goal, then one of the things that have happened to me a couple of times, or many times actually, is that I set this goal and I start to move towards it, and when the date of the goal or it comes, or even it just approaches, it's getting closer, I realize that I haven't got any closer to it. Like I'm still like far from the goal that I set. And when the date arrives and like I didn't achieve that goal, and it's like demotivating. Like you have set this goal, and I didn't achieve that, and then it feels like I'm a failure. All the goal setting is not for me. Like this is not for me.
Yes.
I tried it a couple of times, it didn't work out. So
and you start living by chance.
Yeah,
you live your chance in chances.
Yes. So one of the things that really resonated with me with the goal setting was that instead of setting these really huge, humongous, huge goals, is to do something different. And one of the things is that what you can do is just write down all the things that you want to achieve. Like all the big ones, all the small goals, or like even like small thing. Maybe you want to, you want to go and buy something small that's needed in your house or whatever it is, and write all those things down. And then what you do is you number them from 1 to 10, and 1 is a goal that you, in next 6 months, you feel like it's impossible for you to achieve. Like, this is 1, it's impossible. And 10 is something that in next 6 months you are like 100% sure that you are totally capable of achieving this goal. And then you number all the things, all the goals that you've written down. And then now the question is, that's a really important question, is which of the goals you should be focusing on. So should you be focusing on the goals that you have on the 1 that are really huge, really big goals, or something that you have at 9 or 10 that you feel really that in next 6 months you're able to achieve? So what do you think? you can I kind of probably already gave an insight with the intro of that, but think about what would be your first reaction, or if you would think about that, like, should I put myself these really big goals, or should I focus on some of the really small goals that are really achievable in next 6 months? So
Personally, I have also an experience on that.
yeah.
Sometimes big goals are good, but in most cases, people don't achieve them and they become source of discouragement. You feel like you are discouraged. So when you achieve small goals and you achieve them, they produce motivation to set more goals. So sometimes, for example, you say, I want to buy myself a cup. When you want to buy yourself a cup and you buy it, you celebrate, you can buy a Coke and you say, hey, I have bought myself a cup I always wanted, or a flask in the house. Then you say, hey, why don't I just go now for maybe the sofa set? I want to go for the chairs in my house. And you set another goal. When you achieve them, now you say, wow, now I have even chairs in my house. So why don't I also set a goal, maybe to have a fridge in my house? Before you know you have a fridge, now you say, oh, goal setting works. So small goals are the source of motivation to set more goals. But big goals, in most cases, when they're not achieved, they produce a kind of demotivation that people give up on goals from personal experience. But also, I normally set goals in categories. This is another thing as far as goal setting is concerned. For example, like this year, I have my 2021 life goals based on my life purpose. Most of my goals are based on life purpose. Some of the reason why people don't achieve their goals, they set goals that are far away from really what they are supposed to be doing in life. And they're kind of demoralized. So I normally make sure that all goals are based on my life purpose. And I categorize them. For example, I normally have healthy goals first, healthy goals. And among the healthy goals, I have spiritual health and physical health. Now, spiritual health goals, I could say, I want to listen to something that built up my spiritual life. I'm a Christian. I'm going to read the Bible. I'm going to listen maybe to the music that helps me. And then on the physical goals, I have some things to do with the exercise, good eating habits, all those kind of stuff. Then I also go to business goals now. Then you know what kind of goal of business do I want to do. But in each goal, I normally start with small goals, then to the big goals, because I know that if I achieve these small goals, they are going to lead me to big goals. So what you are speaking is really, really right. Some of the examples maybe, let me give some of the example of my health goals for this year. I said, go for medical checkup. Go for medical checkup. Usually we don't treasure that in Africa. So I'm trying to make sure that I also become like you guys to try to test the body, healthy checkup. But some of the goals, of course, I've known. Then I said exercise is a must, morning, evening. Then I put eat good food, more vegetables. and less meat. So once I do this, I feel like I'm happy. Well, when I'm achieving it, I feel like, wow, I'm achieving. Then I have financial goals.
Did we lose you, Jonathan?
They are called quiet time. It's called quiet time goals. Setting a goal to be quiet with yourself. That's very important. Finding 30 minutes every day to be quiet. I used to be so behind on that, but by God's grace, I am improving. So goal setting is really, really, really important, and I like how you have put it, because most, in fact, if we are to ask people who are watching right now, I think 50%, not if not 80, have no goals. Trust me, they have wishes. They know that in January I'm going to do this, in August I'm going to do this. All those, it's kind of living your life in chances. So thank you very much for what you're talking about. Maybe on that, I really want to talk about something that is connected to this. It's called habits. Habits. Because I know one of the difference between a white man, I don't know if you're white. Okay, let me use that word for today. And I don't know if I'm black, because I know how black looks like. The difference between us, people from different continents, it's because of what we call habits. You seem to treasure habits. For example, one of my colleagues who is here is called Famuka. One of the best things I learned from her, and which I treasure, it's called planning. Of course, she's from Europe, from Netherlands, and she's here. I'm not lying. If I'm lying, Famuka say you are lying. Famuka normally plans her day before the day. She knows what she's going to do tomorrow. Then in the evening, she comes back and she writes what she has done, finances she has spent. And to me, that was so new to me. So as a life coach, as you, what kind of habits do you need every person that desires to be successful must have?
That's a really good question, and just coming back to the goals. Just one of the things that you mentioned also is I think it's really important is that you have the small goals that you take, because when you achieve the small goals, you actually, if you talk about habits, when you start achieving the small goals, you get into habit of achieving the goals. You become a goal achiever, not just a goal setter, because many of the people, they you know, or as you say, they have wishes, not goals, or you know, or even if many are really good at setting goals, but they're not good at achieving the goals. So if you start with the small goals, and you know that in the next 6 months you can achieve that, you most likely are going to achieve that. And then one of the habits to do is, you know, you celebrate it. It could be just, you know, just some small celebration for me that is really physical, is that I just, you know, put my fist together, put it up, and just do a yes, like that. And why this kind of thing is really important is when you do a certain move, that where you get this success moments into your body. Your body is a weird mechanism. It actually remembers the emotion and the move that you make. So the more you use that in a situation where, like, you know, because when I make this move, I really, you know, I have a little bit of goosebumps coming to me, because I've done that so many times when I, you know, been in a situation when something has, you know, went really well, or I achieved something, or something, you know, I've done something successfully. And then this is a really good time to get your body remember that. And this doesn't have to be this move. It could be whatever move you make up. And then how this helps you is when you are sometimes a little bit down, or you need to get yourself together before a important meeting or important presentation you're going to give, you can make the same move, and your body automatically goes into the situation where you had the success happen, when you had your goals achieved, or anything that you kind of put there, like, you know, you get your body to remember. And that's one of the habits also in terms of the goals that you can do. And then when you have the goals, when you put your small goals down, then one of the habits for me is also like something like you said, Jonathan, is of course they first have to be aligned with who I am and what's my calling and what's my purpose in my life. But also the bigger goals that I set down, I take the smaller goals and put them in front of me and start, moving towards those goals that help me also to reach some bigger goals. And that has been like really important part of me, like for me as well. Like for example, how can I, I went from, reading Robert Kiyosaki's book in 2007 the first time, and then having 2015 organizing a 2,500 people event with him in Estonia. How did I go there? Is, we at some point when I was, seeing a lot of great things happening in my life in different areas, I felt like I want to give it back to people. I wanted to give people also the opportunity to learn from the people I've learned from. And that's, if you talk about habits, that's also a really good habit, that you share what you've attained, what you've learned, and you give out, you being in a service, as we talked before. And some point I was offered, to do a workshop in Estonia where a presenter comes in, and we did many of the events, and we were helping to promote an event that is happening in London, in UK, and we were promoting it from Estonia, and then it went well, and then we find other partners in other countries, and we got more people going to this event there in London, and in 2 years we had 400 people going there, and from the 8 different countries. And what this brought in was that, we had, we were offered to bring Robert Kiyosaki to Estonia. So in a sense, when I was given this opportunity, would I like to have this workshop happen in Estonia? One of the things that I asked for myself is, why would I want to do that? And there was a couple of things that really resonated with me. Was, first of all, if I help this organization, I'm so much closer to so many big speakers. And one day I could possibly get someone like Robert or whoever to come to Estonia. And I didn't know initially who's that going to be, but I know if I help this organization, it could pay off like that. And the other part was that, I really enjoy music. I have, by now I also sing myself and create like it's inspirational songs. But back at that time, I had my friend who was singing, and I was, wishing in a way that, maybe if we help this organization, we get this music also out to the world a bit more. And these were kind of the whys behind it. So the important takeaway here is that one of the really, really big habits for people who are achieving amazing things is they have a strong why. They know why they do things, and also they have a strong why behind what they do. Their goals. Like if you have a bigger goal that you want to achieve, then you align your smaller goals to achieve that bigger goal. So in a way, you chunk it down. You have a huge goal that is like, I don't have any idea how to approach it, like and achieve it right away, but I see smaller parts that leads me to that. So this is also really important habit, and that's really been helping. And the other part there is always seek out how you can help others. Like, as I said, we were helping this organization get what they needed. They wanted to have, they needed having more participants. We were helping them, bringing in people from different countries. And now they wanted to help us back. They give, well, would you like to bring Robert Kiyosaki to Estonia? And that was, of course, I would like to do that. So here's, I shared many different habits, like, you asking the why, setting your, having the smaller goals that help you achieve the bigger goals, also celebrating and, getting that into your body and using that when you need. Then, of course, there's a lot of different habits, because the habits are something that, the Duke University did a study, and about they figured out that about 45% of our daily life is run by our habits. So pretty much half of what you do daily is not your conscious decisions, it's your habits. And so it really makes sense to look what are the habits that are, first of all, holding you back to achieving what you want, and also what are the habits that you should be having that would help you towards what you want to have in your life. And one of them is having morning and evening rituals. Like for me, in the morning I do some breathing exercises, I do some yoga, I drink a water with lemon. I really take some time to read or listen to some audiobooks. I also take, in many mornings, I take this deep work time, which means that I close everything else and I go into something that is really important, or I need to do some creative work. So I take some time where I'm putting everything else off, and not even my phone is off. I'm not taking any phone calls, I'm not looking any emails or anything like that, and really focusing on something that is important in my life, and creating it, or making some things about it. So these are a couple of things. And also the evening rituals, like there's like going to bed on a regular time, and also like not too late, and not eating too much before you go to sleep, and all those things, and also sleeping in the dark, as dark as possible. There's so many different things, but these are just a couple of things that I'm sharing that has really helped me to build my life to the direction that I couldn't be imagining years ago. And so so a lot of different habits. There's of course a ton of different habits that you can put in your life, place in your life, and make great things happen. So my suggestion is here, take at least one that you heard from me, and in some way find a way to also put that in your life. And the question here actually is like, what was one of the habit that I was sharing that you think you want to implement in your life as well? So put us in the comments, what is at least one habit that you would like to implement in your life that I was sharing, and then do it. So
Wow.
so let us know in the comments.
Yeah, so please go ahead and tell us some of those habits that you have learned from Roland that you think you need to implement in your life. Please, for those who have been following, habits are very important. It's really what habits create our life. We don't choose our future. We choose our habits, and our habits choose the future. So someone, Mr. Sandy, is saying reading. Jack is saying exercising. Okay, that's good. What kind of other habits, guys? Let me see the rest of the team. Those people who are here, what are you saying? I have liked the part of making the successes feel in your body. Yeah. So you feel, yeah. You're going for an interview, as you're entering, it's like, yeah. Yes, that one. Okay, Famka. So please, you can do it in your room even right now. You can take time, guys. Say, yeah, I have done it. Yes, you feel it. And there's the energy and the goosebump that really happens. Sandy is also talking about teamwork. Good is saying feeling success. Jackie, you're laughing. Yeah, guys, it's good. And habits. I don't know if Roy, you're here. Roy, I saw you joining the Zoom. If Roy, you're here, I know you, Roy, you're a man of habits. Roy, you're a man of habits, and it's really what is creating your life. So, guys, we have reached on the time. We are just having a few minutes to to unfinish. To finish. I'm sorry for the English here. We are going to allow question right now. We cannot discuss all because we have just touched some few things from this book, 12 things not taught in school. And for those, someone said accountability to Yahweh somewhere. Yes, accountability is very, very, very good. Accountability is very good. And most Africans don't want to be accountable. Accountability is not only in money, but also in time. Also in your word, whenever you say your word, be accountable. If you promise, be accountable. So please, we are going to do this. If you feel like you have a question, you raise up your hand, and they are going to unmute you. Today I'm together with you. This is Emma in Qatar. Hey, you are in Qatar, Emma. Wow, happy to see you, Emma. Hope Qatar is good with those beautiful buildings in Qatar. We are so happy to have you, Emma, today, and I'm so honored to have you. So you're going to put up your hand. Famka's hand is up, so we are going to unmute Famka, and Famka will ask her question. So ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Famka as she asks her question. Yeah, Famka, you're most welcome.
Okay, let me put on video to ask the question.
Yeah.
My question is, it's not specifically to one of the things you said, but well, maybe other people would see you and me like we are Bazungu, we are both more or less the same, like being both white people. But then me coming from Netherlands and you coming from Estonia, I think we have had quite a different background, quite a different upbringing, which people maybe in Uganda not aware of. But my question would be, do you think that from your cultural background, coming from a country, you said it was like 30 years that you were independent. I realized like in Uganda, we feel like we're only independent for a shorter time, but now for you, it's even less. Do you feel like that's coming from a different system of what was in Soviet Union and now your country becoming independent and such? Do you have a unique contribution to a country of Uganda that is also so much developing right now? And you also coming from a country that has gone through a lot of development in the past years, as you have shared. Personally, I think you could have like contribution to a country like Uganda, which I might not have, since I've had a different upbringing where a lot was arranged already before I was born. I think you. I don't.
Yeah, it's a good point. Thanks, Famke. And one of the things that I see is, and you know, in a way, it's I'm in generational because I was when we got our independence. I was 7 years old. I went to first grade, so I don't really remember the start of our re-independence in that sense. But what I know is that what I'm heard from my older friends who started the entrepreneurship journey in the beginning of 90s, what they said this was really a chaos going on because there was there was a lot of there could be that someone could come and take your restaurant over because by force, and it's there things like that happening, and there was a lot of this corruption going on and all that, and so we've been in that situation, which is I wouldn't say it's exactly the same, but there's some similarities in Uganda in a sense with what was the Estonia like when it got its re-independence. There was in a sense, a lot more chaos than we have now, and what could be interesting in that sense is also that we have, one of the things what we are planning also is to bring a delegation of entrepreneurs and investors from Estonia to Uganda, who are, they're also I would say like a little bit older generation from me, and so there could be really interesting opportunities if we come with the eyes of ours in a sense, and where we are now and where we've been also, to spot a lot of different opportunities in Uganda that the local people don't really see, and that's even for me. I've seen so many things, for example, in Uganda, one of the things that you take for granted, like that Uganda takes really granted, is the ability to grow food like all the year, whatever they want to put into the soil, everything grows. And it's not a case in Estonia because we only have 4 or 5 months to grow anything at all, because that's the only warmer I wouldn't say even warmer months, and so that's one side. And other side, definitely we have this info technology and this ICT sector. There's a lot of things that definitely can be brought over to Uganda. So we are, in a sense, we are already working on things that we could be partnering up or bringing into this country, and on that sense, I totally agree that there's a good chance that coming from the place we are living to Uganda is you can see opportunities that the locals can't. And so what I'm really interested in is to helping also the local people start see the opportunities in their country that are available, and that's really one of the most powerful things that could happen. And that's also we with Better You Academy, that's why we are really fascinated about partnering up with Jonathan and their team and Purpose Africa to bring also the right mindset to Uganda, because it's really starts from the mindset and really starts to bring out the best in yourself and start seeing the opportunity, start taking the responsibility, and also give the knowledge, give the things that will help people to build up the self-esteem, build up their opportunity, their possibilities to start seeing the opportunities. And with that, I think there's a huge change that can be done over time in a country like Uganda. So thanks, Famke, for asking this, and I hope this kind of gave you some insight from me. Yeah, awesome.
Any other person with a question? If you have a question, please go ahead and ask. Sorry, any other person with a question, guys? Yeah, Roland, you talked of teamwork, but in most cases that when people choose the team, they let them down. So I think the question is, how does one choose the right team? How do you choose the right team to work with? I don't know. This could be in business. It could cut across. So how do you choose the right team to work with?
Yeah, this is really important again, and I really it kind of comes down to the leadership section, and also in the book I share about, like, one of the most important things is it all starts from a mission. And you don't have to come up with a mission yourself. You can find a mission that some other organization or company is having that you align with, and you go along with that. But if you want to start a company yourself, or if you want to build a team, then the leader's role is to define the mission. And the mission defines the followers and also the people who will, join in. And you really need to be clear on that. Like, what's the bigger mission? Like, for example, for me, the company I have in Estonia in terms of self-development and Better You Academy, our true mission is really to bring out the potential of human beings, which is the true definition of education. That's our mission. And that's what also brings in the right people to us. Like, the team members, they have to align with this mission, because we don't need anyone who's like, well, I don't care anything about this personal development stuff, or I don't think that works at all. Like, if this attitude like that, it's impossible to have this person as part of my team. It doesn't work out. So what I really suggest instead of trying to find the right people is to first set the mission, or be part of a mission that really aligns with who you are. And then the right people will start joining in with you. And that's what I see that has worked the best for me. And then I really, truly believe in that.
So what do you do when you find out that you already have somebody join with the right mindset or the right intention, but let alone he's diseased? So do you kick him out of the team?
Yeah, and other thing, actually, I remember from also that Robert Kiyosaki said, and I'm also a true believer in that, is that you don't, if you want to hire team members, or if you want to hire someone, you don't hire based on their skill set. You hire based on the culture. You hire based on if this person fits into the culture, if fits into your mission, and aligns with what you want to accomplish as a company, as an organization. So you don't just get someone as well, he's really good at doing these things, but if he's like totally against your mission or your culture, then it's not a right fit. So hire based on culture, not on the skill set.
Wow, thank you very much. I don't know if there's any other person with a question, guys. You're running out of time. Any person? I think we can take just one or two more questions, and then we shall call it a day. Any other person with a question, guys? You just put up your hand. If you don't know how to put up your hand, you can write in the comments, I have a question. But there are also provision of how you put up your hand. And guess what? Leaders ask questions. So I expect people, oh, good, you have a question. Please, good, you are unmuted. Please go ahead and talk. Ask your question. Good. Can you hear us? Okay, sir. Please ask your question.
Are you getting me?
Yes, we are somehow
Now,
hearing.
Mr. Jonathan, are you getting
Yes.
me?
Yes, we are getting you, sir.
No, now my question is, mm, what does he have to say, like an employed youth in Uganda who is struggling to make it in life vis-a-vis the challenges we face in Uganda? So what is that? What is that that he did that changed that turned his life around? So that someone can it be applicable in Uganda, or someone can copy from it and learn from it.
So, I think if I've understood you well, good, you're asking what is that one thing that is applicable in Uganda, especially to the struggling employees that he applied, that could be applied here for someone to change their life. Is that the question? So, Mr. Tokko, I think that's the question, if I'm not mistaken.
All right. So yeah, I heard also partially. So it's I understood, like, so what's from what I've been going through, how is this applicable for people in Uganda and overcoming the struggles and all that. So what I think, there's some of the things, of course, like that culturally are different in Estonia and in Uganda and all that. But I think there's many things that are kind of universal, that wherever you are, these things are universal and it works wherever you are. And I think one of the things is really to be clear on what is where you want to go, and find out, and also find out your passions, your gifts, your calling, because this is universal. Like, you are a bee in Estonia, you are a bee in Uganda, you still go out and fly on the flowers, and you do the same things. You're not different. And I think it's the same for humans. Is like, wherever you are, you really need to find out the things that really resonate with you, and then apply them, and go and share the things around that, or do things around that topic. And for me, as I really, music was like something that was a passion for me. I went into that field. I started to figure out things. Then self-development became a big passion for me. So I dived into this industry, and first as a big learner, I've spent more than $100,000 over the years in terms of the courses and coaching and everything I've taken. And then also I started to seeing the opportunities that I can use in this industry, and also make a business around that. So I really truly believe that this is something that when you go out there and start seeing what really interests you, then dive more into that field and start seeing what others are doing in that field. Start seeing how local Ugandans are succeeding in that field, because I know in whatever field you want to be in, there's also successful people in Uganda who have done that. And I know a couple of them personally, and I'm pretty sure they're willing to also share their knowledge if you're willing to ask. And find the places that you can learn, like go learn from what Jonathan is sharing at these events. And then if you end up getting better your academy, do Uganda, then join us, and then you will have more like-minded people around you that help you, because this is really huge part of getting where you want to get, is to have the right environment around you, have the right people around you, because it's really difficult to go alone, especially when you are starting to make shifts in your life. Because initially you have the mindset changing, but there's no results, and then there's like people around you, what are you doing, why are you going to these events, why are you doing all those things? Because this happened to me. And then at some point, when the results start to come out, then everybody's at, they're like, well, it totally makes sense. Like, oh, tell me how how did you do that? What you were able to achieve? But it only comes like when the results are coming in. So it's really important to find the people who support you on the go, and find these communities and find these places where you have the right people around you that support you. So I think these are a couple of things. So first of all, finding out your true gifts, your passions, and then putting it into action. Then also starting to dive into the industry or dive into the field that really interests you, and then find out what are the successful people in that field are doing in your country. Try to find ways to get to know them, to get some advice from them, and then also have the people around you that support you in the direction you are going, and ideally they want to go also the same direction, or at least they're also in the same level in terms of their development. So there are a couple of the ideas that I could share here.
Wow. Thank you very much, Roland, for that. And there's something I have loved from what you've talked, that a B in Estonia is still a B in Uganda. That's very powerful. So it also simply means if you are stupid in Estonia, it's very possible that you can still be stupid in Uganda. I have seen very many people who think that by changing of environment, going somewhere, automatically it will change them. So we just need to know that life is built on principles. And if these principles are well followed, you can operate in different environments. You can function in different environments. So that was really powerful. So if what you experience in Estonia is applied in Uganda, if it's a principle, it cuts across, it can work in Estonia, it can work in Uganda. Someone says, there's a question that came out that what advice, maybe now we can start answering short in seconds because of time. What advice do you have for the youth that are struggling to start business, but they don't have capital? Well, they have capital.
With that is there's tons of opportunities out there that you don't need any capital with. We started our first seminar and all company and all that without having any capital, and we were just selling someone else's course, and we were making money with that. So my suggestion is find someone who's really resonating with you, a business owner or a business, and find a way how you can add value to them, and then you can make your first money from that. You don't have to own a business. You don't have to even have a product or service. You can help someone else to sell that, and then make some initial capital yourself.
Wow. That's important. It has to do with being creative, finding an opportunity that is available to do so that you can achieve what you want. That's powerful. I think that's what I did in my personal life. And along the way, that is how things start working for you if you have such kind of attitude. You don't wait for capital, but also the word capital in Greek means head. So if you don't have capital, then you're saying I have no head. Capital comes in many forms. Some people don't have money, but they have people with money around them and they trust them. So can't you find a way how you can talk to these people? And there are very many ways to raise capital anyway. But I think for all of this discussion are going to be coming up with the car. We are going to be having very many trainings coming up, and we shall have special coaching for special people. Someone can ask, who are these special people? We really want to build a group of members to know that these people are serious. We don't just want to have Zooms. People are just coming here to see what is happening and go. So we want to find a way to build a group of entrepreneurs, a group of people that really wants the best out of life, but also want to help people to better their life. So we as we move on, we shall be informing you how things are going to be done, how to become members of all these groups. Things are really going to be done that way. And I hope if you are ready to be part of this movement, guys, say, I am ready. In the group, say, I am ready to be part of this movement. Let me see. Good, thank you. I have got my answer, Mr. Roland. Thanks. I have learned. Okay, wow. I was reading a dream. Thanks, good for that. It's good to know that you've gotten your answer. And Roy says, I read the message of Roy. Let me just paraphrase it. He said, "Thank you guys, Roland and Jonathan, what you are doing, something to do with habits." I don't know, maybe someone should give me that message again. And Smart says, Smart protest, he was here. I don't know if he's still around. Smart says, keep empowering masses. Smart is a very successful man in Uganda here. He impacted lives. He's a millionaire, I think, in dollars. I can smartly say that. But I think he left and he was giving us a go ahead to continue empowering lives in masses. Thank you, Smart, for those positive compliments. And someone said, Sandy said, can a plan be short term or a long term? So I think in short, we have both short term and long term plans. So Mr. Sandy, it's now comes back to you. It's you who knows that this thing should be in my long term or in my short term. But I think we should have both short term plans and long term plans. I hope I've answered that. Roy is talking about habits. And he said, I think the key habits we really have to help people with is time management. Time management. Someone say, champion, I'm still listening in. Who is that? Who was that? I need to know the chat. Someone say, I'm ready. I'm still listening in. Wow, Smart is still listening in. Oh, Smart, Smart, please. I just want you to have at least just 30 seconds. Say something to us, Smart, if it's okay with you. If it's okay, so it's okay. But if it's okay, please have something to say to us, Smart. I treasure you so much.
Good evening, champion, and good evening, everybody who are listening in. And good to hear that great leader from Estonia.
Estonia, yes.
I just joined in about 30 minutes ago, and I loved the show. And being that it's the first Zoom that I think we are doing internationally with international guests, this will take us miles. And what I can tell you, the sky cannot even be the limit. Let's go for it. And whoever is listening in, please, like what Jonathan has always been telling you, those dreams, those goals are very, very important. They are the key aspects that you need to achieve your dreams. Those principles that you have been listening in this evening, they are the key, how can I say, the key pillars in your life that can unturn or that can unlock your potential. All of us have potentials, but maybe some of us haven't been able to exploit them. So hang around people like Jonathan, hang around people who are who have the same aspirations in life like you, and before you know it, you'll start swimming and living the lifestyle that you have ever desired. That's what I can say. You gave me 30 seconds. I believe I've used exactly the 30 seconds. Thank you so much, and have a great time.
Wow. Thank you, champion. I have learned a lot from you, from many years now, I think 10 years. You've mentored me. Thank you very much for all that you have really been doing in my life. And I can smartly say that you are smart, like your name. I'm so much humbled, and I can't wait to host you also to tell us. I think we shall be hosting you soon to really educate these masses what really they're supposed to do, because at least you have Ugandan experience and what should people do to really, really get out of the situation they're in. I think we have reached a moment when we are tired of just crying. People are good at crying, this and that. I think it's time to get out of that nail and start doing things that we are supposed to do to become successful. The day we realize that no one is responsible for our life, that's the day we shall start to really being productive. Jack is saying, what tricks? I don't know. There was a question there. What tricks? I don't know if I should read how many minutes do we have. I think time is out. We really want to be Europeans, and we really want to really keep. Yeah. So if you really desire to be a full-time member of this, you email us so that we everything that happens, you get to know them. We get to know it, and you're part of it, because time is reaching when we have the core team, the core members. that they're going to be mentored by all these international speakers and coaches. So we want to work with people who are serious, not people who are peeping in and they just go. So make sure if you are this kind of a person that you really, this has helped you and you feel like, and this is just the beginning, guys. We've not done anything. And this just, this is our first Zoom. And guess what? We are going higher and higher from glory to glory. And if you feel like you really want to be part of this, please email us. Email us, send us a message. If not, you can go on Purpose Africa website and you fill in that form. You tell us part of your interest and which kind of guests do you want us to bring to you, what kind of topics do you think we need to discuss, so that it helps us to really prepare for you. Remember, we are not here for us. We are here for you. We are here that we can transform. We are here that we can create lives that will be worth mentioning and worth living. And at the end of your life, you look back to say, yes, yes, I lived. I think that's what Roland has told us. We say, yes, I lived. So that's, somebody was calling me. We are going to continue with this. You can continue commenting and asking questions. Roland will surely answer your question. There is a WhatsApp number we have put there. We can still answer your question. So continue, and you can go on the YouTube, rewatch this video. It will be on YouTube. You can recommend it to people. And next time we announce any Zoom, make sure you bring in as people as possible. Imagine if your girlfriend was watching this. Imagine if your enemy was watching this. Imagine if your father and mother was watching this. Imagine your employees were watching this. Imagine if some of our leaders were watching this. It's important for all of us. Let's not undermine this. Small steps will lead to really big, big steps. So you have really been a wonderful audience. Now, right now, Tokko, what are your last remarks? And what are those things that you can tell our champions that are on this platform?
I'm really excited to be here, and then I'm excited about this opportunity to bring Better You Academy to Uganda fully and really, as Jonathan mentioned, how many of you are excited about having the world-class guests coming in every month, and we're working on different topics each month about health and finances and your relationships and your goal setting and everything, these kind of things. And each month we take on a different topic, and we come together as a group. We have master classes, we have mastermind sessions, and then also while we're really excited to join in with Jonathan is that there will be also separate things that you were gonna do just for Uganda. Like we're gonna have local celebrities, local really successful business owners that also come share their knowledge. And then I just wanted to just quickly show you that one of the things that we've done already a couple of months ago, or even more, we did a webinar with Patrick Pitature. I guess this is a person most of you know because he's a really successful entrepreneur, and this is something we also want to build in terms of locally having really great local successful people to join in and share their knowledge. So it's not only the world-class speakers and people who have done things in Europe and in the United States and in countries like that, but also getting local people who come in and share their tips that are even more applicable for you. So you can have best of both sides. You can have the best ideas, best knowledge from the people worldwide and their knowledge, and then also the local celebrities, local successful people. So if you are excited about that, then you are in the right place, and then definitely connect with Jonathan. And I'm really, really excited to be here. I hope you got at least one thing to take away. And that's my last question. What's the one thing you're going to take away from the day and you are going to put in practice? What is the one thing? And if you are gonna at least change one thing or implement one thing in your life, this webinar was a success on my side, and it's gonna be even more successful for you if you're gonna apply that. So what's the one thing? And with that said, thank you all.
Well, guys, let's put our hands together for Roland. I know you can clap wherever you are. Even you can show me some claps here. You clap, guys. Let's see some hands. Let's clap for him. He has done a very wonderful work. He has been amazing. Roland, thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for all the secrets, for all the revelation that you have really shared with us. And I believe that these people that are on this Zoom are not just hearers. These people are doers. By the time you come back to Kampala, you are going to find people with their magazines. You're going to find people with their businesses. You're going to find people impacting lives. And because of what we are creating a movement. We are creating people that are really going to impact other people's life. We are not just here for jokes. So Roland, we really thank you. And I believe very soon you can get us Bill Gates here. So why not? Are you excited, guys? If you're excited, I want you to write the word excitement. Those are the last words. Say, I am excited. And in fact, you know what? Don't write the word excited. If I say something, just say yes, yes, yes. Have you learned something, guys? Yes, yes, yes. Can I see some yeses there? Then I know. Yes, 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 yes. Can I have some yes, yes? Yes, 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 yes. Can I have some yes, guys? Yes, 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 yes. I believe this is taking us far. And guess what? This is not a joke. This is just the beginning. We are going to transform the world. Remember, we are discovering, we are understanding and maximizing our potential. Thank you very much. Thank you, guys. Everyone, have yourself a very wonderful good night. Enjoy responsibly and stay excited. When you feel like you don't feel yourself, say yes. Thank you. Good night,
Bye-bye.
everyone. Bye-bye.